Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast Episode 9. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, Dantes, and joining me, the best dressed man in YouTube, Calones. How you doing, Calones?
Hey, how you doing, Dantes? How you doing, everybody? And yeah, we have a pretty interesting podcast this week. We had sales numbers released and game releases, and we're gonna be delving into all of that. But just go ahead and get it started so we can get talking on it.
That sounds good, Calones. But first, like always, what have you been playing, my friend? I'm
It's
guessing. I'm guessing a little
oh,
game called Splatoon 2. I'm putting my Clio hat. 1-800 Clio, right? So what's your what game you've been playing?
well, yeah. I mean, I can't really say anything else. I've been still stuck with Splatoon. Dedicating time, making sure I get the level so I can do the rank battles, rank modes, league modes, and all of those. So, but yes, it's been occupying most of my space. Also, I want to say I've already started master mode on Legend of Zelda, so I can do get the master sword, do the challenge, and post the video since you called me out on it. So that's work in progress.
Work in progress. That's good. That's good. And I got another video coming up this week. I know that I said it, but this week I promise I will put it up. It is my punishment for Calones losing the E3 prediction special. So that's coming up. You should see us this week. Don't get scared, Calones. It's nothing that bad. Maybe a little bit good laughs for me, but I don't know how much laughs Calones will have. But anyway, of course, also on this show, Calones will give us his full review discussion of Splatoon 2. So we'll talk about more Splatoon 2. I mean, that's the biggest game right now. Also, for me, I've been playing Breath of the Wild still. I'm almost done with it. I should be moving on soon. I'm done. I'm done, Nintendo. I'm not playing that shit until the ballots of the champions comes out. So I'm done. I'm done. I'm up to 800 Korok seats, and I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing the 900. I'm done. I'm done. This is dumb. I'm stupid. It is.
Didn't you say you were gonna stop at around like 500 Korok seeds? And you're up to eight.
No. This is stupid. I don't want to get your shitty prize of a pile of shit again. That I'm done, Nintendo. I'm done. Anyway. Oh, okay. Let me do my rigmarole before I go crazy here on this motherfucker. Again, I want to welcome everybody to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, Episode 9, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Please remember that you can watch this podcast every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy motherfuckers happy. Also, please remember, if you don't want to see our ugly faces, we got something for you. You can go to SoundCloud and iTunes and download this podcast for free. Also, please rate us over there. Again, so you can make us a little bit more happy. At the same time, please remember to go down to chiguerosnews.com and give some love to my boy Calones. And of course, Dantes says finally. And Dantes means finally. Go to the Facebook page at Force In Unison Gaming for all the latest nerdy news. With all that said, let's start. So, Calones, is your body ready? I said, is your body ready? For the no one in attendance and the two people watching around the world, let's get ready for Reggie's News Center. My body's ready.
Well, Dantes, we have, I mean, what you could, technically say like 10 different pieces of news. We're going to go ahead and mix them up together because a lot of them have to do with Nintendo sales, how they've been doing in Japan, in the US, worldwide. And I would say, the outlook is great. We already talked about last week about the mobile games and how much, Fire Emblem, Echoes, and those were making, which was a pretty good dollar for Nintendo. But now we're finally getting the final details. So, for example, let's go straight to Japan. Splatoon 2 week, biggest week in gaming over there. I'll say, probably for the entire year, aside from the Nintendo Switch launch and maybe Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But Nintendo sold 98,000 Nintendo Switch systems in Japan, and listen to this, 648,000 copies of Splatoon 2. So what do you think of those numbers?
They're ranking that money, baby. Oh my God. Wow. Nintendo's back. They're back in black. Ow. So, I mean, I have to give them credit. This is the biggest launch I've heard in a game in Japan in quite a long time. Aside from Monster Hunter, I mean, 648,000 units sold for Splatoon. Japan itself just made the money back for Splatoon. Anything else is just ranking up the dough for Nintendo at this time, right? So, I mean, that's good. And also, Nintendo sold close to 100K in the system itself. So they're doing really well. The second place was PS4 with 28,000. I mean, if Nintendo keeps selling that way, I believe that Nintendo will take over Japan. They will own that region, which makes sense. I mean, we're talking about more of a mobile market, more of a mobile gamers in Japan. Console gaming has been slowing down, and I know Nintendo keeps saying that the Switch it's a hybrid or it's a console, but no, it is the latest strong motherfucker handheld. Because if you put it as a handheld, it is a strong system, of course. But good numbers, Nintendo. If you want to share some of that money, I'm here. My address is, well, I'll tell you guys later. But anyway, go ahead, Calones.
Yeah. Cool. So, moving along. They also released the numbers for the last quarter. In the last quarter, Nintendo sold 1.97 million Nintendo Switch units and 8.14 million games. So that tells you they're basically selling 4 games for every system, which is a pretty good attach rate, especially on the first year. Mm-hmm. And when the big games in Nintendo, they don't really get the price drops or anything like that. So that's full price. Also, up to this date, Nintendo has sold 4.7 million Nintendo Switch units worldwide. Breath of the Wild has sold 3.92 million units worldwide. Mario Kart Deluxe, which has been out for almost 3 months, they've already sold 3.54 million units worldwide. And listen to this. I know people say that it doesn't really look like a high number, but 1-2 Switch has sold 1.22 million units, and that's a game that I kind of consider to be that it should have been free with the system. Kind of like like a packing game. So, but it still sold 1.22 million at a price of $49.99. So that's more money in the bank for Nintendo. Also, Nintendo has another million unit seller in ARMS. So with the ARMS receiving the Splatoon 2 treatment, the Splatoon treatment of updates, characters, and everything, at least for the next year, it should have pretty good legs, and get more sales on those. So I see it maybe reaching somewhere in between 3 and 4 million within the next year or so. So hopefully it's going to continue like that. But it all depends, because Splatoon 2 came out already, and that's going to be taking all the sales from everything else. 4.7 million units, 3.92 for Zelda, 3.54 for Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2 with 648,000 sold in Japan only. So they haven't released the worldwide number for Splatoon yet, but
it's in the million. I'm bet you it's in the million. But I was gonna say, I don't think ARMS will get to 3.5, 3 or 4 million. I think ARMS will stop maybe around 2.5 to 3. But even with that said, I mean, ARMS, it is not an expensive game to make. I'm not a game developer, but admittedly, this is not. We're not creating the next Grand Theft Auto 6 or in ARMS. So $1.2 million units sold means the ARM is already profitable. So they're already making that money. So I think Platinum Games and Nintendo should be happy with the numbers of ARMS. I think they're really happy with the numbers of ARMS. Yeah. So again, that's showing you the difference from the Wii U. Nintendo fans are buying games this time, or I don't know if it's because people didn't even know that the Nintendo Wii U came out or ever existed. Maybe that's the difference. But Nintendo fans are buying the games. I mean, freaking 1-2 Switch. That game probably cost like $30 to make. They already sold 1.2 million units also. So, I mean, crazy numbers. I mean, like I said, Nintendo is back in black. They're selling that shit. They're making that dough. And what I'm hoping is that with all this dough they're making, Nintendo, invest on your online, please. But anyway, still making that money. Happy for Nintendo. That's good.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, moving along, we got a couple of announcements of games that finally have release dates for the system. So we have well, this I guess the successor to I Am Setsuna, Tokyo RPG Factory's next
Yep.
game, which is the Lost Sphere, is going to be released on January 23rd for 49.99. Then we have Iron Cast, which is a turn-based strategy game set in like an alternate Victorian history setting. Is going to be coming out this August 10th, and it's going to retail for 12.99. We also have Super Beat Sonic, which has been announced for the Nintendo Switch and will be coming out on October 3rd. We have Phantom Trigger. That one doesn't have a specific release date, but it has already passed certification, so the release date should be imminent for it. And this one I guess we're going to have a little bit of discussion on this one. Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Ellipsis Age doesn't have a specific platform. They haven't announced what system is going to be coming out for. If it's not for the Nintendo Switch, I'm going to go get Akira Toriyama. I'm going to kidnap him, and I'm going to forbid him from drawing any more Dragon Quest characters until they release Dragon Quest for the Switch. So come on, make it happen. Make it happen.
It's coming out to the Switch. You don't have to worry about it, Calones. And the reason I feel that way is because Squaresoft has, oh, excuse me, you don't deserve that name anymore. Square Enix has said that they're going to focus on PlayStation and Nintendo going forward. That means that all RPGs, I am guaranteeing they're going to come out to the Switch. And Dragon Quest, it is not as huge as Final Fantasy. And Square Enix knows that, right? So they have to put it in the most platforms that they can. I believe it will come out to the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and they're not going to, they're going to not put it in the 3DS. They need to cover that huge install base. So I think the 3DS version is also coming out.
And the 3DS receiving portable versions of Dragon Quest VII and those others, it tells me that they believe they think of Dragon Quest as more of a portable RPG and Final Fantasy more of like a home console RPG. So that's why I think that Dragon Quest games are almost guaranteed to make it over to the Nintendo Switch at some point. Final Fantasy 15 is not going to be on the Nintendo Switch. They use a different game engine for that one, which is not really transferable. Something like Kingdom Hearts 3 might make it over to the Switch because the game engine that
Unreal Engine 4.
Yep, it's Unreal Engine 4, and that's already it already works on the Switch. So, but yeah, Dragon Quest, and I think it'll probably benefit from the Switch even more so. So we should be able to see the game have even better sales being on the Switch.
The Switch already has had from Square, if you think about it, I Am Setsuna. Lost Sphere is also coming. So like I said, this is
Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2.
Oh, true. Thank you, Calion. It's true. So it's you seen the good shit coming in. I always say that this system has so much potential to be a way, and let me clarify, way better Vita, in the sense that Vita gets all the RPGs, but no first-party support from Sony, right? But with the Switch, you're gonna get all those nice RPGs. And I don't care what people say out there. It's good to have games. So RPGs is good to have in the system. I'm not one of those people like, oh, RPGs, they suck. No. A lot of young people out there don't remember in the PS1 days and the Super NES days, RPGs were the shit. Everybody was playing it. So having all those RPGs on the Switch is going to benefit the Switch. I mean, you're already seeing it. I'm seeing way more games coming out on the Switch than the Wii U ever had in the first 5 months in the market.
So yeah, so we have two last pieces of news. One is that so far 17% of Switch owners have installed the Nintendo Switch Online app, which is around like 780,000 worldwide. 400,000 of those are on iOS, and the remaining 380,000 on Android. So it's pretty even between the two formats. People are not really rushing to go get it, and I'm pretty sure that number is not really going to increase that much until they finally make it a paid application next year, and that's when you're going to see the big increase on there. But I guess it goes with people not being really ecstatic about how it works, how it functions with the games, but it's understandable.
I can say that this is the only bad piece of news that Nintendo has had in the last couple of weeks. The sale numbers are awesome. Last week we discussed MPDs. They did great on MPDs. How many games did they have on the MPD in the list? They had like four first party exclusives, and that was the first time I seen that in a long ass time on MPD, to clarify. And then this week we're seeing the good Japanese numbers, but the only bad news is, again, people don't like the app. And I'm hoping, I'm not gonna touch again what we discussed last week. That was topic of the show last week. If you guys want to see it, go to a Force In Unison gaming channel. But it is the only black blemish, because Nintendo should have that in the system. But again, we'll see how it works out. Calones said on his discussion was that we should have a little bit of patience. We'll see where it turns out. But they still have a lot of work to do, to clarify. I'm hoping that all these good sales numbers means that they're going to invest in a better online infrastructure. But we'll see.
Yeah, I supported them on it. I know it's going to take some time, but yes, they need to fix it, and they need to be clear on the message once they fix it, so people know that it is something that they want to use and that it actually does work. They could have done it inside the system itself, like you said. I think they're afraid that it's going to take away from the resources, because the Switch is fast. Like, it's really fast loading. It's really fast opening the games, moving through the menus. But so they're probably afraid of slowing it down. One thing, we were talking about Japanese sales, so we're going to go back to Japan sales and information. But we have a very big piece of information, and it comes from the horse's mouth, which is Capcom. Capcom has said that Ultra Street Fighter 2 for the Nintendo Switch had a favorable launch, exceeding our forecast. Later on, it was revealed that the game has sold over 450,000 copies on the Switch. And now Capcom, if you remember, a couple of months back, they had tweeted out, and there was some controversy because they said they were basically going to be judging their supports on the Switch based on the sales of Ultra Street Fighter 2. I was skeptical about it because I felt like nobody's going to be spending money on a port that's like 20 years old. They're just like doing some new coding and adding certain things, and especially with a price tag of $40, I said there's no way that the game's going to sell. But 450,000 copies for the game is a pretty good number, and I'm pretty sure they didn't really invest that much on the game, releasing it for the Switch. So that's pure profit for them as well.
And then let's slide in. That's what she said.
Yep.
Let's slide in right into the next piece of news, which ties to that one. So go ahead, Calones.
And Capcom said that they're looking into releasing more games for the Nintendo Switch. So they're going to be releasing other games for it. But the big question is, what games would those be? What games do you think Capcom is thinking about now releasing on the Switch, since they already had a successful launch with Ultra Street Fighter 2?
Quick one. Mega Man Legacy Collection 2. I don't know why the hell that game is not on the Switch. So let's start with that one out of the bat. Monster Hunter Worlds, I think it was the one that got shown on the PlayStation 4.
Not even that. Like, you just gotta Monster Hunter Double Cross. Just bring it over to the West.
Oh, they'll bring it over.
All you gotta do
I got
is
no doubt about that. No, I got no doubt about it.
Bring it over here. I know they're probably afraid that it's gonna take away from the sales from Worlds, and they want to release Worlds before they do something like that. But it's a no-brainer. The game's already made. All it needs to be translated over. So just bring it over here, and that's gonna be a good indicator of the support of Monster Hunter on a Nintendo Switch system, especially here on the West. I don't know, like, I think they can start doing like collection of games. Yeah, just do different collections. I know they're probably gonna do the 250th release of Resident Evil 4. So that's gonna be another one that probably is gonna be making it over here. Hopefully, if they do, they'll have the two different controls, which is the Pro Controller controls, but also the Wii Plus controls. Doing it with the Joy-Con. So I mean, hopefully they can incorporate something like that. I wouldn't mind them going all the way back to their like PlayStation 2 and having days and having like the Beautiful Joe collection or something like that as well. So
yeah, I mean, we'll see. I was thinking more. I was thinking more new games. Like I think there's a chance that Monster Hunter Worlds could now get a port for the Switch. They probably were thinking, oh, this game is too big, blah blah blah. But now they may take their time seeing the sales numbers for the
Well,
Street Fighter 2, right? They're saying, okay, let's spend the time and port this game over.
yes.
Are you gonna say
If
something,
you,
Calones?
yeah, if you listen to the announcement for Capcom, they also we're talking about different sales for other games as well. Resident Evil 7 has been underperforming, so that one could see a Nintendo Switch release if they want like increase sales on it. Dead Rising is another one that has been underperforming. I'm
That
not
was
sure.
really bad. I saw those sales numbers and
Yeah,
Dead
it
Rising
hasn't even
4.
reached a million copies yet, and it's been out
No,
for how long?
yeah, it's
So
almost a year now. So I think it was because Dead
yeah,
Rising 4 just bad reviews, right? And admittedly, you guys have to admit it, right? It's only on Xbox, right? You're well, I think did it go to PC just like a couple months later? I don't remember, or it's waiting for a year, but it's only on Xbox right now. So in theory, that's not the biggest fan base. I don't know. Xbox has been weird for third parties to sell their games. I just can't put my fingers on it. Why it's happening? Why do they get so much low sales numbers for third party games on exclusive third party games? To
yeah.
clarify, so yeah, Capcom. Some bad news. Oh, another game that I could maybe Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity. That could possibly be another one that could possibly get ported to the Switch.
Even Street Fighter 5 has been selling poorly as well.
Yep.
It got destroyed by reviewers at the beginning. They made certain improvements. I know it's not up to like the standards that people would expect from the series, but that's another one that could potentially see release as well. Yeah, I mean, so you have the Resident Evil series, the Dead Risings.
I think the difference, Calion, though, for Street Fighter, I don't think that one hurts Capcom too much because Sony put up some of the money. So if the risk was there, the risk was from Sony, right? So I don't see that one coming out anywhere because of Sony, ponying up the money, basically, right? Basically the same for Dead Rising. I think if my understanding, I think Microsoft put some money too on it. So Capcom is being smart in the sense that they're taking some risks, but they're not losing that much money if other companies are putting the money for them, right? Street Fighter 2 was more Capcom and see how it does. So this is more of a win-win for Capcom selling all those units, right? And of course, porting Street Fighter 2 is not like a huge development cost, right? So they make good money on that.
And I don't know, like I'm split on this because I'm kind of, in a way, disappointed that Nintendo Switch owners have bought so many copies of Ultra Street Fighter 2 when I kind of expected the game to release at around like a $20 price instead of a $40 one. I think $40 was way
Yep.
too much. But at the same time, by buying the game, then it makes Capcom know that the Nintendo Switch is a viable system that they can sell games on it and they can bring more games as well. So I was split on it. I didn't really want the game to do too well because I felt it an insult to be sold for $40. But at the same time, if it did well, it means more games coming over. So well, I guess at the end of the day, if we get more games, that's what matters.
It was a no-win situation, honestly. If Nintendo fans bought the game, they look like suckers because they're buying a $40 game that is like a $40 game that is like 20 years old, right? But if they didn't buy the game, then Capcom would be like, we're not giving you any games then. So it was like, there's no win-win. That was a bad situation. Honestly, that was Capcom's fault. And that's what I get tired of third-party games being like, well, let me put this port here for this game. And let's see how well it sells. But then they give you the shitty port. And that happened a lot with the Wii U at the start. Oh, we're going to give you Mass Effect 3. Here's the port. Here's the shitty port.
Well,
But Mass Effect 1 and 2 is not even on the system. You know what I'm saying?
and not only that, we're gonna sell it to you for $60 when we're releasing the trilogy cheaper on the other systems.
Yeah, exactly.
Around the same time.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's what I don't know. Third party, and we'll talk about it in Numa's Nintendo discussion. We'll go more in depth about the third party support moving forward from Nintendo. But yep. That's a lot of news, Caleones. Damn, that was a good week. Good sales numbers for Nintendo. They're making that dough. But, Caleones, an important question, right? If I wanted to know the latest games that we're excited for, what is the store that we go to?
well, the store is gonna be Shigeru's Mini Mart.
Boom.
But like I said, the market is growing, and today's a really good week for releases. The Nintendo Switch already, this week had 8 new games releasing for the system. Those games are Infinite Mini Golf, Namco Museum, Namco Museum, which is Pac-Man versus free multiplayer, the only version. Then you have Ultra Hyperball, Neo Geo Super Sidekicks, Overcooked Special Edition, Cubix Paint, and Fate Extella, the Umbral Star. So we saw 8 new games releasing this week for the system, and that's after we had the week of Splatoon 2, which was the biggest week in months for the Switch. So
that's a good mix of games, honestly. Overcooked,
yes.
it's been a great game. I keep hearing a lot of good stuff. A lot of people have been playing it on PlayStation and Xbox, and it's all about playing with friends, kind of like again couch co-op. Having fun with family and friends in there. Fighting, oh no, I need this egg, no, I need this, while you're cooking. So this is a perfect game for the Switch, and having portable and playing with friends as you move your Switch around.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you're not gonna have as much fun playing it by yourself. I mean, get somebody else, play it with other family members, friends, and it's gonna be a great fun.
Yeah, and the other one, of course, is the one that is like Dustin, Destiny Warriors, Dynasty Warriors. I can't pronounce today. I don't know. I drank on Friday, so I'm still recovering from the hangover. But yeah, like Dynasty Warrior game. So again, another Japanese game. A lot of good mix of Japanese indie games, and again, it's good. Nintendo's feeding, not Nintendo, but everybody's feeding that beast. But we'll go more in depth when we go to the Onuma's Nintendo discussion. But anyway, Calones, thank you for the latest report in our Shigeru's mini market, soon to be supermarket. Anyway, let's go to our favorite segment. This is where we go and discuss certain things, right? Discuss the latest in Nintendo. So typically, Calones and Guy go one-on-one in a specific topic, but this week I don't think we have a specific topic that we're going to go one-on-one. So what we have this week on Onuma's Nintendo discussion is Splatoon 2 review discussion. We'll let Calones start on that, and then after that we'll discuss if Capcom's good sales means moving forward that more third-party support will come to the Switch. But let's start with our Splatoon 2 review discussion right here at Onuma's Nintendo discussion. So go ahead, Calones. You're the Splatoon expert. Lead on, my friend.
So, I mean, this basically what I have is, for Splatoon 2, after 2 years since the release of Splatoon on the Wii U, Splatoon 2 is inking its way to Nintendo Switch. Ever since the initial reveal, a vocal minority have been complaining about Splatoon 2 that it did not deserve its title of sequel, and instead it was more of a port with a fresh coat of paint. To those who had seldom played the original or never played it at all, and considering the install base of barely 13 million Wii U owners and its 4.5 years after release, it is very possible that you never got to play the game, and to you, Splatoon 2 did carry a lot of similarities to the initial game because, I mean, with a sequel, I mean, when has a sequel doesn't not look like the original somewhat. So of course, both of the games were gonna look pretty much the same.
All Call of Duty games, basically. But keep going, Calones.
Yeah, but that bypassing, because that would be a whole nother discussion. But Splatoon 2 has a brand new single-player story mode, which takes place 2 years after the invention of the first game. Without giving anything away, Callie and Marie were the main protagonists of the initial title, and they help you with clues and suggestions along the way. After freeing the sapfish, the story ended, but since then something has happened to Callie, and you have been recruited by her more quiet cousin to find out about her whereabouts. If you haven't played Splatoon before, the single player experience is a great way to introduce you to the game mechanics as well as its different weapon styles. Or if you are the type that wants instant challenges and want to jump straight to the online battle, you can go ahead and do that. The only thing is that if you go straight to online, you're going to be missing on most of the lore from the game, which you discover through the scrolls and interactions from the characters on single player. Either way, the online portion of the game is divided into the regular battle, ranked battles, and league battle. And in order to gain access to ranked battle, first you have to play the regular battles until you get the rank level of 10. During regular battles, you play turf war with the team the team that inks the most space before the timer ends winning. The online portion starts you out with a Splattershot Junior until you reach level 2 and are able to go to the weapons shop and purchase others like the splat rollers, ink brushes, splat dualies, sloshers, snipers, and more. Once you reach level 4, then you gain access to the remaining shops where you can buy clothes, shoes, and headgear. You first got to play the game. Nintendo wants you to experience a single player so you can learn the weapons, you can learn the game mechanics, and you can master them. Once you go online, then you do the turf war, which is what Splatoon is all about: inking turf, and the one that has inked the most area by the time when the timer ends, winning. So after you reach level 10, that's when ranked battles opens up for you, so you can go ahead and experience those. Um, so you get to level 10, rank battle opens, and then you have the three different modes. You have the tower control, where you ride a tower all the way to the team space. You have the splat zones, where you ink a specific area, and once you have full control of them, the timer counts down until it reaches 0. And then you have the rainmaker, where you make it rain ink by controlling a fish idol that shoots a mini ink bomb. Your team helps you escort you until reaching the goal located at the opposing team's area. Um, so you already have the turf war, which is the regular battles, and you have the ranked battles. Then you have a separate league, which is called the Leek Battle. In order to have Leek Battle open for you, then you have to reach a level of B minus on any of the ranked battles. With Leek battles, you can do two versus two, or you can do 4 versus 4 online battles. And the way that these works is that every time there's a new map rotation, which in Splatoon is every 2 hours, the Leek battle opens and it starts getting your stats, seeing how you do, and pitting you against the other people in your region. So, but once the 2 hours end, then it gives you the total on how you did when compared to the other people. So you try to make the best out of it and try to win those. The new mode, there's a new mode on Splatoon 2, which is the Salmon Run, and which is Splatoon's 2 versions of Horde mode. For those people that don't know, call it like Call of Duty Zombies, something similar. So you have you're enlisted by the Crisco industry with 3 other friends and you take down salmonoids while collecting the golden eggs. Before engaging in Salmon Run, you have to go through a series of tutorials, which teaches you what to expect during the game. And unless you have local co-op mode, which is a slight complaint from my part, is that Salmon Run isn't always available at all times if you're playing it online. There's a schedule, and it tells you when it's going to be available so you can play it. So you can't really play it whenever you want. So it has to be available for you. So
Yep.
So that gives you a rundown of the story, the different modes, weapons and things like that. But so getting down to the specifics, like the graphics on the game. Of course, the Splatoon 2 looks somewhat like the original game because it is a sequel. That's what sequels do. Unless you're going from Super Mario, the first Mario game, to Super Mario 2, Super Mario 3, when in those eras you did have the big jump in graphics. Nowadays, if you're playing the Gears of War or the Call of Duties, you're not really going to see that many differences. And the same thing happens here with Splatoon. The game looks better. It's more detailed. It's shinier. And it does have, if you've played the game before, if you've played it extensively, then you can pretty much see the difference right away. If you haven't and you've seen it from far away, you're not going to see the improvements graphically. They're still keeping the same style on the Inklings, same style on the stages. So that's stage pretty much the same, but the game does look better, it runs better, and I'm very happy with how Nintendo went on there. Of course, with the gameplay, we had some descriptions of the different modes, the way that the game controls, and my personal preference is playing with the Pro Controller. The Pro Controller for me is the ultimate way to play in the game. Pro Controller doesn't come with the system; you gotta purchase it separately. You still can play with the 2 Joy-Cons, or the Joy-Cons and the grip, or you can play it on the Switch system itself, and you can still do the motion controls and everything for the aiming. But Pro Controller is the way to go. That's the way that everybody should be playing the game. So if you ever get a chance, go ahead and grab one. Game is, even if it's online or single player, it is 6 frames per second. It responds quick. I never experienced, to this day, I haven't experienced any disconnect from the servers. My matches haven't been interrupted through the middle of it. I haven't experienced any of those. So if people complain about it with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there's nothing to complain about here on this one. So I've had nothing but great experiences when it comes to the online portion. Um, so we have the graphics, the gameplay online, anything that you want to ask, or that you think the viewer might be interested in.
Okay, so let me start asking the question. So you mentioned online's been stable, so that's good news, right?
Yes.
I guess have you tried to use the Nintendo app with the game, or have you played just without even talking or game chat with people?
Well, I haven't really been using it. I did use it just to test it out, so just to see how it works, how it connects, and get the party going. But I'm not really someone that it's going to be with the headset, talking, doing strategies. I'm probably going to save that for later on once I have a stable, team, and then we can go down to the different strategies and stuff. So for now it's just worried about leveling up, getting the coins, purchasing the gears and everything, and once I reach level 50, then I'll worry about all those other things. But yeah, just unlocking everything the game has to unlock. So that's been my main concern. But as far as the app, it's I don't. I mean, since I don't really think of it as a big inconvenience. Of course, I know how the PlayStation 4 works, how the Xbox One works, and I see it for what it is, and it is just there for something that I don't really use. So,
Okay, no, that's fine.
I mean,
I understand.
I can't really judge it. You have to ask somebody that uses it. I stayed away from if I play, like, for example, let's say Xbox One and playing Call of Duty. The teenagers and the young kids turn me away from chatting, so I just turn it off and never use it at all. So
and that would probably, if I ever play Splatoon 2, that probably happened to me too. I was just asking if you try it out, how it work. But when I play Last of Us online, I admit I mute everyone. I just like to
yeah.
play, do my thing, and just I don't play with teams. I don't have a team. I just go there, did my thing, got my trophies, and I'm done. So that basically was my Last of Us 2 experience on multiplayer. So I'm like you. So I understand. I was just wondering, what was your impressions? Have you tried it out?
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing. Nintendo
It
still needs
works.
some improvements, but
It's already been, heavily scrutinized, so people already know how it works, how it's supposed to work, and it does what it's supposed to, and it works like they say. So nothing really else that needs to be said about it, other than for those people that really do use it, Nintendo does need to do some sort of update later on to make it a better experience for them.
Okay, that's fine. I guess my next question is, you mentioned about how people feel that this is not a true sequel. Which game you found better, I guess? Do you had more fun with Splatoon 1, or you feel that Splatoon 2 gives you everything that Splatoon 1 did great, but even more?
Well, yes. For me, this game is an improvement on every single aspect of the original Splatoon. Splatoon 2 is better. The bosses on the during the single player campaigns, the puzzles, the way that you tackle each area, and the areas, they limit you on what weapons you can use. So basically, they force you to learn those weapons, which is a good thing, because I find myself only playing, like, let's say, for example, like splat dualies, or splatter shots, and those types, and I'm really not into sniping or using the brushes. But
Camping.
well,
It's called camping, Calones.
but
I'm
actually,
joking.
by experiencing the single player this way and forcing you to use certain weapons, I've actually learned to appreciate those weapons, and I find myself using them more on the game. Also, for a salmon run, you can't really select a specific weapon that you have to use. They have different loadouts, and they give you one depending on what stage, or I guess if it's like the first, second, third run that you're going through, they'll give you different weapons. So you got to be prepared to know how to use them, and the single player mode helps you on that. So
Okay.
so I really appreciated it and enjoyed it, and I don't want to talk about story elements or spoilers or anything. I want people to experience those.
Okay. Other question that I had is the Amiibo support. So what do you get when you use your Splatoon Amiibos in the game?
So, well, you get different clothing, you get helmets, you get additional equipment and gear that you can use with them. So, I believe that there's going to be there's probably going to be additional updates, so you can use more so the previous amiibos, like you let's say the amiibos on Splatoon, the first one. When you will use them, they will open up specific challenges for the game, and those are things that I believe will be incorporated on this one later on, as because of the big amount of amiibos that you have for Splatoon. Now you have the original 3 amiibos, which is the Inkling Boy Girl and the Squid. You had the alternate color versions of those, so that makes it 6. Then you had Callie and Marie, which makes it 8, and now you have the 3 new ones. So now you have 11 of those. So you have 11 different amiibos for Splatoon 2, and hopefully Nintendo, aside from having additional gears and items, they're gonna make it to where you have specific, challenges for all of those. Also, you can also save loadouts for the different amiibo. So if you have a loadout with specific clothes, weapons, and things like that, you can save it to one amiibo. Then you can save a different loadout for a different amiibo. So that way, whenever you start the game, instead of having to go change and change your loadout, you can just scan it and it'll automatically do it for you. So that's another incentive for being able to have the amiibos by having the loadout saved for them.
So do you feel, I guess, that the first game did a better job with the Amiibo support than this game, or you think it will get better for the Splatoon 2?
I think it will get better. For the original game, it wasn't right away that you can do certain things. You have to wait for certain updates as well. But I did like that with the original system, you had the opportunity for different challenges, and I can see that happening with this one, especially with the 2 years of or the I think it's the 1 year of updates and 2 years of Splatfest that the game is going to be supported. So that's going to be coming.
Okay. I guess my final question, Calones, not to put you on the spot, but if you have to review the game, someone has a gun in your head, what is the score you would give this game? Oh.
Well, I'll say it like this. When I review games, I try to get my keep my fanboyism away from it. So the score that I would give the game today, right now as it is an 88. The reason why
8.8?
Yes, but
okay.
But it's almost not fair for the game because, like I said, the game's going to have a year's worth of updates of weapons, stages, different modes. So that's going to be coming throughout the year. So a game that's 88 today, by a year from now, it's probably going to be at 92, 94, depending on what improvements it had. Same thing with the original Splatoon. It had it was bare bones somewhat when it released, but with the updates, it has a lot of support. And there's been few games that I've seen that have been supported to that extent for free. And that's the same thing that's going to happen to Splatoon 2. You're going to have additional modes, weapons, items, gear, everything, and those are going to be free for people that purchase the game. So as it is today, I'll give it an 88. If you ask me a year from now, I'll put it this way. A year from now, I'm going to go ahead and review the game, and I'm going to tell you how I feel about it, especially with all the updates and everything, and we'll see what the score is. So, but as it's today, I'm giving it an 88.
You heard it right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Our final review is 8.8. Again, Calones will do a re-review maybe at some point a year if he remembers. No promises. Shit happens, to clarify. But 8.8, still a good score. I think it matches kind of the Metacritic. Where's the Metacritic on this game? Like 84?
I believe it was 84 on there.
84. It's fine. It's a good game, people. Anything above 80, it's good. Means it's a good game. So I guess finals score just shows you that you need to go out and buy this game.
Yes.
So you can go online and face Calones 1-on-1 and see that Calones lays the smack down on your candy asses. That's what he's saying right here, right? That's what you're saying, Calones. You're gonna lay some candy asses.
Yes,
At some
I'm
point?
gonna light everyone up on here.
Are you gonna paint them up because this is a painting game, right? I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, but
It's a competitive game. I know. Come on.
yeah, but I mean, that's, you know what? I'm gonna murder them, even though they don't really die. They just regenerate again. But that's how competitive I am.
You can kill squids. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, let's move to our next topic. Calones, thank you for that review. You're the Splatoon expert on this channel.
Before we move, because I mean, I can't. I'm hyped up. I'm gonna get it right here. If you allow me 1 second, because I want everybody to send me a friend invite. I mean, whoever watches this and challenge me on Splatoon.
Oh.
So I'm not.
He's gonna prove why he's the man. Okay, so what you want to show your friend code? Nintendo's still using friend codes. God, Nintendo, help me out here.
We're not. It's not a topic for today. So.
He's pulling it out. Ladies, just give him a minute. I'm gonna put some sexy music. He's pulling it out.
Okay. So friend code is.
Wait, here we go. Wait. Let me say it out loud. SW70386200620. That is Calones'
So you have it
friend
right there,
code.
people. Send me an invite and just don't cry. I already warned you. Don't cry about it.
Hey, you have to remember, Calones, we also do this podcast for people who don't want to see our ugly faces. So I have to say it out loud. I'm just saying. Just remember, not everybody's on YouTube here. So anyway, just remember, you can download this podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Please, we need the help. Anyway, let's go to the next topic. Next topic, of course, is Calones. Good. Calones just gave us the good news of Capcom. Good sales number, 450K units sold for Street Fighter 4. They are saying that they're going to bring more Switch support to the system. So I guess my overarching topic in today's Anuma's discussion is, do you feel, Calones, with all the good sales numbers that we've been seeing for the Nintendo Switch, will third-party support come to the Switch? And let me clarify what I mean third-party support. More AAA type of third-party support. Your Monster Hunter Worlds, your Resident Evil 7s, your Call of Duty, stuff like that. Do you feel that we'll see more games like that? Because admittedly, Nintendo has been getting the support from indies, really good support, I would say. I think that is going to continue. No one is going to deny that. I think the question is, are you going to see more third-party support from, publishers like EA and Activision and Ubisoft?
First, I'll say I'm going to give a shout out to the indie developers out there, because they have been great on the Nintendo Switch. They have been bringing the games over, and I mean, from what I hear, they've been selling pretty well as well. So great that they're doing it for the system. It's and great for gamers to have these other games coming out in between the big releases from Nintendo as well. And I'm glad from the gamers as well that they've embraced the indie games and they've been buying those. So I'm very happy with the support, and I'm very happy with how Switch owners have responded by purchasing the games. But we still need the big AAA releases. We still need those sales and those games on the system. And I believe that people were probably thinking, the Nintendo Switch came out, it's been selling great, but systems always sell great when they first come out. So let's give it a couple of months and see how it is really doing. A couple of months pass, it's still sold out. You still can't find it in the stores. The games are selling hundreds of thousands and millions of copies on the system. And now companies are finally turning around being like, wait, our games is probably going to sell good on that system. So we got to bring it. So I would say I don't really see, perhaps like the Call of Duties or Red
Dead Redemption, the Grand Theft Autos and stuff like that, right?
Well, I'm still holding out hope for Grand Theft Auto. I know for a fact that Grand Theft Auto would sell a couple of million copies on the Switch, and the hardest portion of the game bringing over would be the GTA Online. That's going to be the hardest one. But if they were able to do it on the PS3 and Xbox 360, they can do it on the Nintendo Switch. And the game still looked great on the PS3. I mean, the game looked awesome, and you got to understand the Switch is a pretty good amount, more powerful than the PS4. I mean, the PS3. So that's something that you can still bring over here to the system. It's still gonna look good. That portability aspect is gonna be great for the single player campaign and collecting all those things on the game. But it's one that would sell great on here. Another one that I still keep saying that it has to come over. It's Overwatch. Overwatch is another one that I know would sell greatly on the game, and those are the same games that I keep referencing over and over again. I keep saying Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5 needs to come over. Overwatch needs to come over. Rocket League needs to come over, and Rocket League finally made an announcement during E3 that's coming over. So those are the other two that I know would sell greatly on the system. Then you have others that they don't necessarily need to sell millions of copies, but games like Resident Evil 7, I can easily see us selling perhaps 1 million copies on the system during its lifetime, and that's going to be something that Capcom needs because its sales numbers on the other systems have been pretty bad. Dead Rising is another one that I think would sell over here great, from Capcom, and we already talked about a couple of those. But as far as the different companies, the problem is that companies like EA, unless it's FIFA or something like that, they don't really embrace the Switch like they should. Companies like Activision, they're like somewhat they're hit or miss when it comes to it. Rockstar, it's there were rumors about LA Noire getting a version on the system. We haven't heard anything since those rumors first came out, and that for me that's not a game that you can use to test the sales on the system. You put Grand Theft Auto on it, so you know if you can sell it or not. But any other games that you feel have to be on the system and that they would do great as well? Like
Yeah.
what
So a couple of things. I want to start before I give you that answer, Calones. The first one is Switch has sold, what was it total? 4.8 right now?
I think it's around 4 point. I'll tell you exactly because I don't want to guess on here. 4.7.
4.7. Okay. So the reason I bring that up is the Switch lifetime sales are 13 million. So
The Wii U's. Yes.
the Wii, I'm sorry, the Wii U's. So the Wii U has sold 13 million at this time. The Switch has already sold close to 5 million. So almost half of what the Wii U sold in 5 years on the market, right? 4 to 5
We
years.
still have 2 more Mario games coming out.
Yep. So, and a Xenoblade Chronicles. Anyway, so, shameless plug. So that shows you that the Switch, I believe, is here to stay. One of our first episodes here at the Get In, Get Out Nintendo podcast, we discussed what was the lifetime sales of the Switch were going to be. And I said around 60 to 70 million units. Calione feels that it's going to get to 100. But my point to that is that the Switch is here to stay. So third party has to say, look, we need to put it in there. One game that comes to mind, and I know you're going to like this one, Caleones, is Darksiders 3. Why is that game not on the Switch? I haven't said that it's on the Switch. The first Darksiders came out to the Wii U. The second Darksiders came out of the Wii U. This game should be on the Wii U. Just out of the bat, I would like to see Darksiders 3 on the Wii U.
On the Switch.
Oh, excuse me, on the Switch. Oh, fuck, I'm mixing today. I need to stop drinking before we do podcast going forward.
Yeah, I want a quick note. We're recording it today. This should have been recorded yesterday, but because of the hangover, we couldn't. So that's why we're doing it today.
Anyway, but that's one game that I would like to see. To your point, EA, it's only gonna put up the sports game. There's a FIFA. That's not something you use to test the market like they're saying they're doing.
But I'm hopeful
if you would have put wait,
sounds
but
like
one second.
it's gonna be I mean, they're
But
putting effort into it, so we'll see.
we'll see. But my point is, if you really wanted to test the market, you should have put a Madden, right? Not a FIFA. My point is, Madden sells more. FIFA, it's more of a Europe market, and as you know, the Switch is doing great in Europe. To clarify, but that is not Nintendo's strong place, right? So I would have preferred to see a Madden, in my opinion, if you're really testing the market. Other games that I would love to see. I know there's a lot of rumors if Crash Bandicoot is exclusive or not. I really could give a flying fuck. It's still a great game. That game deserves to be on the Switch. I think that is a great portable game. The Crash and Mario in the same system. It has happened in the past. I'm just joking, but you know the old commercials of Crash challenging Mario. So that would be awesome too. I think Crash could be a great game on the Switch. Another game that I would love to see. I mean, there's been a lot of rumors. I know the Switch is not gonna get Bloodborne. Bloodborne is one of the best exclusives this gen, but you could get Dark Souls 3 maybe, or the Dark Souls collection. I would prefer the Dark Souls collection better. That could be another good third-party game for the Switch that I would like to see come over. Let me see what else. I mean, the good part about the Switch is it's a portable system. A lot of good games, like you said, Overwatch should be one that it should be there. See, the problem is heavy online games. I think people are scared of bringing heavy online games because of a little bit of the mess that is using the online infrastructure on the Switch. But
what I always say about that is you can only play your PS4 or Xbox One at home. So you need to be connected there to be able to play it online. But you can play online on the Switch at home. You can play at McDonald's. You can play at Walmart.
I know that is the benefit of the Switch. I'm just saying that I feel that some companies don't feel like bringing their online games because of how painful it is, the whole online infrastructure. Not the infrastructure, what I mean, if the disconnects, more of how you handle voice chat and shit like that. Or I think the other excuse is the Switch has lack of buttons. I think I heard that one. Someone said that somewhere. Anyway, but I'll say this. I truly believe that the Switch sales will bring some third-party support. I don't think it will bring the big third-party support like Grand Theft Auto. Honestly, maybe I'm wrong. Or Red Dead Redemption, or your Call of Duty, or your Battlefield, or another one could be great, but I don't know if that's coming. Star Wars Battlefront. That could be another one that it could be great on the Switch, right? Again, another, but I don't know. I don't know it will get him.
I mean, take assets from the game and make a Rogue Squadron game. Make another Rogue Squadron. So you can go and do that. I think we're already getting Shin Megami Tensei, so Persona 5 could be another one that could be ported over. Maybe Persona 5 Golden, since those are the ones that
that'll be a good one to have on the Switch. Yeah.
And once that, and pretty much every single game that has released on the 3DS, those the Professor Laytons, the Ace Attorneys, the Detective Pikachu, like those type of games, should be coming over to the system as well. So, but I mean, talking more specifically about third-party games, then I mean, where's the Bravely games? So Bravely, that's another one that can continue on here.
Yep.
So. And I know we're gravitating more towards like RPG type games, but I think that's at the end of the day, Nintendo, the Switch is gonna be known for Nintendo first party games and RPGs. I believe that's what is gonna end up happening with it, and I'm okay with it, as long as we can enjoy great RPG games on it, and from time to time getting a bone thrown with either. Grand Theft Auto, Overwatch, or something like that. So, I mean, we don't really need all of them, but we just need they're good third-party games to supplement the ones that we already have. You
need at least some, Calones. I think for this system to strive and keep selling well and bring the next level of customers, you have to remember the PS4 has sold 60 million units. Whatever, it's still gonna get to 60. I don't know why you're trying to defend it. The Switch is not gonna get to the PS4 anyway. All you wanna cry, but the PS4 has sold 60 million units, right? Out of those 60, I'll say maybe half is hardcore gamers. The other half is casual gamers who his friend bought a PS4 the PS4 cheaper. All my friends in Call of Duty are playing it on PS4. Let me go and play on PS4.
I want a Blu-ray player or
A Blu-ray player or whatever. And that is the truth. You have to understand that the system who sells, the Wii sold on the back of the casual gamer. You have to understand that the casual gamer, it's what makes your system win in that generation, right? My point to that, before I got interrupted by Calones being butthurt because the PlayStation is number one, it's that that the Nintendo to get to that next level needs to bring those NBA 2K, which they're doing it, which is good. They need to bring, if they can. If I would be fucking Nintendo, I would be bringing up my bags of money. I'll be like walking down to Rockstar's door. I'll be like, make it for the Switch, motherfucker. Here's all that money bags that I can give you, and do whatever it takes, but make it come to the Switch. We'll help you develop the game, but you need Grand Theft Auto on the Switch. They need to hit those games. Again, I know they're hardcore games, but admittedly, a lot of casual gamers play it. That they're on the Switch. They need to bring them on the Switch because the Switch, again, here's the difference. You will sell 60 million Switches. Yes, I believe that you'll get to that mark. But to get to what you want, to the 80 and to the 100 million units, you need the casual gamers, Calones, right? So that the only way that will come is if third-party support or the big third-party support is in there, right? They'll get some games from Ubisoft. Ubisoft have always done an exceptional job in supporting Nintendo, right? You'll get some. I don't think you'll get Assassin's Creed, but you will get some of the smaller Ubisoft games, right? And the question is Activision gonna show more love? Is EA is gonna show more love, right? Rockstar should show more love, or Take-Two, Rockstar should show more love, and Take-Two, to its credit, is showing some love on the system. So I believe to Nintendo to be really successful with this system, and Nintendo's already making the money. If they sell 60 million units and they get good sales from all their first-party support, Nintendo's racking the dough. Remember, Nintendo carries their system with first-party support, so all that money is being made by Nintendo directly. So again, I just believe that Nintendo will be fine, but you need that third-party support.
Yeah, and Nintendo said it initially. They said even though Breath of the Wild was in development for what felt like forever, they said that they needed to sell 2 million units for the game for it to be profitable, and it's already up to 3.92 million. So the game has already doubled the amount that they needed for the game to be profitable. I'm pretty sure with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, same thing. It's a port of the Wii U version with faster gameplay and graphics and those. So they're already making their money. Nintendo, they're gonna make their money even if they do like you said, if they sell 60 million systems, they're gonna be making the money in lots of it because of their first-party software. But the indie developers, they're making money as well on the system because people are embracing those games and people are ready to embrace the third-party system. I feel like even if because the Wii did get some third-party support. The Wii U got a little bit of it as well, GameCube as well, and the games didn't really sell that much on those. Like when it came to third-party games, that's why on the GameCube era we had the exclusive games with the Beautiful Joe. We had the Resident Evil 4. We had what was the 4 Capcom games that Nintendo had the exclusive rights to?
It was Resident Evil. It was Beautiful Joe at first, but all of those games came to PlayStation later. Yeah. I don't remember the other two though. So.
Is it PNO something like that? But the thing is, the reason why those games were ported over to PlayStation was because they didn't really sell or meet Capcom's sales expectation on the system. But the Switch, I believe, will be the first Nintendo system in years where people will be embracing those third-party games and they will be buying them, and we're going to see great sales numbers. But in order for that to happen is, one, we need those games to be released on the system, and two, we need the games to be released on the same day. Because another complaint I have about third-party companies is that yes, they will give us third-party support, but it will be for games that have already been released for months or years and in another system. I know with Ultra Street Fighter 2, it's been 20 plus years that it's already been available, but that's where Nintendo customers are showing you that they are ready to embrace you and support you. So bring those games over to the system.
Yep, well said. I'm hopeful too. I want to see Nintendo succeed. I want to see more third-party games. Bring that Darksiders 3. Come on, THQ Nordic, whatever your name is now. We're big Darksiders fan. I know that I platted the first Darksiders. I haven't platted the second Darksiders. I should be ashamed of myself.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and I know, and it's not related, but we are getting the Battle Chasers.
Battle
board
Chasers,
game.
of course,
So,
of course.
So
Go
Joe
support.
Maduro's art style lives on the game. So
yep, go support Battle Chasers finally after. Damn, what was it? When we were reading those comics, we were in college. Fuck, I'm old. Anyway, Calones, thank you so much. I think we all agree that Nintendo, we want them to succeed, and we want more third-party support. They're going to sell. So third-party, help Nintendo out. And Nintendo, bring money backs to Rockstar Studio and drop it at their table. I'm just saying.
All that want to switch money, just give it to the third-party companies. Come on, Nintendo.
Anyway, I want to thank you, everybody, for joining us at the Get In, Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 9. 9 episodes. Fuck. Right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Of course, remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy motherfuckers happy. Also, please remember that this podcast will release every Monday. Every Monday, remember, every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, remember, if you don't want to see our ugly faces, and I understand because we're two ugly motherfuckers, you can download this show at SoundCloud or iTunes. Go over there and rate us so you can show us some love over there. Also, please remember, we have a small Facebook page called Force In Unison Gaming. Go down there and give it a like. We'll put more glitch of the week. We haven't put in a couple of weeks, so I'll take care of that this weekend. Also, and finally, and Dantes means finally, go to chigarosnews.com and give some clicks and love to my boy Calones. With all that being said, I want to thank you, everybody, for joining us. Long live Nintendo, motherfuckers. Thank you, everybody. See you.
Goodbye, everyone.